Hello. Let's see if this is work before we get too in depth with it. It's loading. Bro, how long does it take to load? Hello? Is it mute? I think it's working. I'm gonna hope it's working. Alright, we're on a bit of a delay. And I'm sorry for the awkward silence, but I was double checking to make sure everything is working. And I think that it is. As we're here for episode number 3 in our WWE 2K25 My GM series. Bit of a different circumstances for this. The To the live audience, this matters. To the audience seeing it after it's live, not so much. But this won't be as long as an episode because it is a rare occurrence where Monday Night Raw is actually Monday Morning Raw, at least for us in the States. And I'm filming this like an hour before Raw is happening. And I'll admit that I've not watched a full episode of Monday Night Raw since Monday Night Football has been back. But due to the circumstances of Raw being on this morning, I can't really use that as an excuse. So I don't also want to really be competing with that. And this is the best time of my schedule to fit in a session of filming my GM. And I will admit, I've been wanting to come back ever since we ended the last episode. So nonetheless, not going to be it's definitely not going to be 2 hours like the last episode. But I'm going to try to come back and film another episode later this week. No guarantees, but that also doesn't matter because we need to get through this episode first. So I didn't mention it, but once I stopped the last episode, it really helped me think. My thinking cap was a lot better fitted, and a lot of our rivalries came to an end during the course of the last episode, at least in the male divisions. And here's what I'm thinking. We need to get done with CM Punk and Aleister Black. That is thing one. The main thing that needs to be done is having the Motor City Machine Guns regularly competing. Our tag team division is in a weird spot right now because our main competitors for Motor City Machine Guns were Chad Gable and Pete Dunne. They kind of screwed things up because Pete Dunne got suspended, and then Chad Gable won the U.S. title. I was like, you know what? Maybe we go a different direction. So here is what I'm thinking. Every so often, I will put plans out there, and we're going to see if we can do them. There's a high chance that most of the time they don't come to the forefront. But I'm going to put these ideas out there. The big picture is I want CM Punk to feud with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So in doing so, all three are faces. And to make things easier, I think once we are done with Punk and Aleister, we're going to turn Punk heel and have him feud with Sami Zayn. Business-wise, I'm going to use this a lot as well. In real life, probably wouldn't do it, but on here, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I think it makes things a lot easier instead of having to turn Kevin and Sami heel. So the plan I'm laying out right now is CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens versus Pete Dunne. Aleister Black and a partner that we need to add versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Women's division wise, I am not 100% sure what we're going to do. I'm somewhat interested and really want to have Lyra Valkyria feud with Asuka. Other than that, it's just everything because all the women's divisions, all the women rivalries are still kind of going on. So that's kind of up in the air. Now, again, I just told y'all the saying, in real life, I wouldn't do this. But as you see, Jacob Fatu is injured for 8 weeks. And he's already got a low morale. And it costs a lot of money to bring him back and get him healthy. So I think it is in our best interest to release Jacob Fatu to get the money back. Plus, I don't even really have any plans. The main thing I wanted to do with Jacob Fatu is have him feud with Kevin Owens, and we got that done. That's over, done with. Boom. So we are releasing Jacob Fatu to get this money back. I appreciate you, and also if you look, he only won one match, which I call it's kind of bullshit, but at some point we'll try to bring him back. But for the time being, we're going to move on. So that was the main thing that I needed to do. Now we are at show number 11, and I have no plans. I should have been planning it. The main thing I had planned was revealing I really want to do CM Punk versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Pete Dunne. So issues there are we got low staminas everywhere. And I saw that our challenge this week was to wrestle our tag champions. Probably won't do that due to the point that I've told y'all that our opponents very rarely sign people. So talent scout searches and like affecting their talent scout searches don't really even mean that much to me. Promised Kevin Owens a match with Chad Gable within 3 weeks. I have no memory of this. Promised Obafemi a specialty match. A no holds barred match. Okay, so being honest, I don't remember any of this. I do remember this about Isla Dawn. I apologize to her. I will admit that the only reason I had her compete is like I thought we were going to use her and trade her and or release her, which still could happen, but for the time being, we're going to keep her. So I already failed once. Now over here, I think the idea that I had was doing Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable and Pete Dunne interfering. That way it starts the Pete Dunne and Kevin Owens rivalry. But the issue is Kevin Owens has an extremely low stamina. So I don't think we're going to do that tonight. We might risk it and do it next week. We're probably not doing it. We're not doing it tonight. But I have no clue. All right. I think we need to do a CM Punk and Aleister Black match tonight. That is certain. Potentially a false count. Do we need to do... This was the other thing I was coming over here. Do we need to do any more false count? All right. We need to do 3 more false count anywhere matches to get this challenge done. So we'll probably do them in a false count anywhere match. We could potentially get this done soon. That top one. I have still not bought any power cards, which is a bit hilarious. So, Punk and Aleister false count anywhere, I'm okay with. Also, my dog is in the room and he is asleep. And if I wanted to put my hoodie on, I couldn't do it because he is asleep on my hoodie. So I wanted to point that out as well in case you hear this snoring. I'm not against doing Natalya and Jordan Grace in a false count anywhere match. We need Julia to compete. I have Asuka cutting a promo. All right. Here's what we need to do. Really need to do. Is look over here. I don't want to use it yet. We need to use these two. We need to sign someone. Is this my GM card? This is my show card. I know this is my show card. I think this is my GM card. So we'll get one. So we need to use this card and this card at some point. Where's the other one? I don't really want to use this one yet. I'd rather have this one saved in the back pocket, but it always can come to mind. I think I wanted to do, I don't even know. This might be a rarity. We're going to actually buy a health spot and give this to Kevin Owens this week, and then we'll bring him back next week to face Gable with Pete Dunne interfering. So we finally bought a power card, and I've already lost it. There it is. We're going to use this for Kevin Owens. So we cannot use him. Boom. All right. Thing number 2. This is the main thing I was getting at that we need to do. It's obviously I would like to sign an immortal, sign a legend. It would, would help. I don't think it's the wisest choice because it costs a lot of money, and I'm not even guaranteed to sign anybody out of that. So Seth Rollins is here, could help us out maybe. Johnny Gargano's here as well. Bronson Reed would actually be good to have. Him and Seth, maybe. I doubt it. One last search. Lola Vice is here. And another my GM that I did, I had Lola Vice, and I turned her heel, and then she got suspended, and then came back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually be a face. Also, y'all notice that Karrion Kross, I'm pretty sure just, like, when I first did this search, I'm pretty sure Seth was in front of Karrion Kross. So I don't know how the hell that changed, but it's not that big of a deal. So, we have talent here. Women's division-wise, what is our main necessity? We need somebody for Julia to face. We're going to do Asuka and Lyra. We're having Asuka turn into a bruiser that way because Lyra is a fighter. So we're having Asuka turn to a bruiser tonight. Natalya might be facing Julia after she is done with Jordan Grace, but I'm not guaranteed there. So I wouldn't mind signing Lola Vice because she is not that expensive and has a high upside. But for the moment, I don't really have anything for her. That's kind of the tricky part there. Bronson Reed, I would like to sign. Seth is interested, but I don't think there's like anything that's like set for him to do. So that makes it difficult. So I think actually, Julia's a fighter, correct? She's a bruiser. Okay. For the time being, for the sake, we're gonna, sign both Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice and see what happens. And it might be kind of a triple threat rivalry, and seeing who comes back first from those other two might help here. So we're going to sign Lola Vice. We're going to sign Elektra Lopez as well, even though she costs about 10,000 more. Now we don't have much money. But I also didn't really see anybody up here that I was like, I need to sign. Now, Obafemi is a bruiser. And he wants a no holds barred match. We could do that next week, but I want to do it tonight. So we need, how much is a no holds barred match? We don't even have enough to do a no holds barred match tonight, so we got to do that next week. Sorry, Opa. But signing Gargano wouldn't be that. The thing with signing Gargano is I know having a bunch of specialists is a good thing because, bro, my dog has never snored like this in his life, and he's really distracted me. Having a bunch of specialists is a good thing because they could feud with anybody and everybody, but I don't want my whole roster to be specialists and to take away from it, But Gargano is, because we also need somebody for Chad Gable to feud with later, and Gargano could be a good choice there. So having Gargano is not that bad of an idea. So I'm still and we also need to add another male talent because we did just release Jacob. But I'm trying to think, what is these power? All right, 2 times per week you add 2 times per season. You add 10 weeks to a contract. Select a contracted superstar on your brand to be busy for 2 weeks. When they return, they will return a permanent superstar. All right. I think I want to take the risk and not sign Gargano. I'll sign Gargano for tonight's episode because I need somebody for Obafemi to go against, and none of these other people fit. So that is why we're signing Gargano only for tonight. And maybe he does well, and it makes us feel that we need to sign him for longer. Also, I'm going to hold off on this because Lyra's not even healthy, so I'm not even going to rush into that. So we're going to actually do something. It's not the best. We also have Io. I forgot about Io because Alexa. We might have to bring Alexa back. We might. I don't even know if we have an injury rehab. I'm just talking about my ass at this moment. All right. What to do? What to do? Natalia and Jordan Grace are here. We're gonna have them do a Falls Count Anywhere match. Just so we need to do 3. We got 2. We need to only do 1 more. Boom, get that done with. I want a tag team match with Julia and Lola Vice. See, here's the thing. I can't put Asuka in the... All right, we're not going to put Asuka in this match. Because I don't want them... Because it's going to take off because we've had Julia and Asuka feuding for so long. But Julia's taking on the new talents. So, I'm kind of screwed regardless because we don't have another heel woman star available. But Julia's taking on the new talents. And maybe it turns into a rivalry. Probably wouldn't be the best one, but it's not the worst case scenario. Now, I have to do Johnny Gargano versus Obafemi, or I would have signed Gargano for no reason. And I can't put a... Yeah, I can't put a stip on it. Not our best, not our best. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what. We need to have Motor City compete next week. That's got to be a top priority. Asuka will give the week off. Sammy will give the week off. We don't have enough for a charity promo, even though I went there. We're going to do all ads. I said we was giving Sammy the week off. Just so we can get that power card, I'm not going to book Motor City, even though I should. But just to be kind of an asshole a little bit. Pete Dunne has a... I forgot I did that, I forgot what it's called. Actually, you know what, because we have enough. We're just going to have Pete Dunne. No, nope, I almost messed up. Almost messed up. Because if I would have had him do a promo on Kevin Owens, then it would have set them up, their rivalry up. I need Pete Dunne to interfere in that matchup next week to set that rivalry up. So I almost messed up there. I forgot that our shake-up card was all the specialists get +3. So utilizing that, obviously, tonight. So if... I don't want to waste this. I'm not going to waste this. Alexa Bliss, we need to level up. That way she can stop being a cruiser. I also did not realize she was the Women's U.S. Champion. I don't remember doing that, but it's been quite a minute since filming. So, this week's episode, grand opening, grand closing is the best way to put it. Not our best, but at least we have an idea going forward. Natalia versus Jordan Grace. Falls Count Anywhere. Jordan Grace wins. Obafemi versus Johnny Gargano. If you're wondering, I'm writing this all down. That's why we're just paused here. Obafemi wins. Hopefully getting his morale up a little bit. Julia's return to action after her good rivalry with Asuka. And she wins. Not our best showing, but I think our main event should make up for it. Aleister Black, I could also say, is not going to be happy with us because he has not won while being here a lot. He might have one. I know one win that he has was teaming with CM Punk, which you're like, what? But I do remember that. This week should be better. Maybe. It should be. Was Trick teaming with AJ? No, he was on the other team. Logan Paul and LA Knight have been feuding for this whole season of NXT. So I made the rule that anytime I see them competing, I'm just simming. If I see like a good card, I'll go through it. Andrade Chase, which I was just the tag team name. It was a slip up, but I'm just keeping it the tag team name. Also, pretty sure I said that the last time around. Gigi Dolan, someone to keep an eye on because their morale is not that high in ECW. This is gonna hurt because backstage brawls give like a big fan addition. Ilya Dragunov should be doing better. I want to trade for Ilya. We're gonna try to accomplish that maybe. All right. At least we got money off of that episode. Normally, I feel like we'd lose money. And we got this card that might not even help us that much. Alright, we're in New York. I haven't had any matches, and the fans are starting to forget about me. Don't you? You know what? Yep, I guarantee it, Alex Shelley. Alright, ensure that your least popular bruiser is in a match this week. Alright, thing number one. We'll do the opening contest, Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable for the U.S. title with Pete Dunne interfering and going after Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens wants that. We have to have Obafemi in a no-holds-barred match. We have to have Alex Shelley in a match. Preferably with his tag partner involved as well. So Alexa Bliss is out 2 more weeks. I think a rule I'm going to make is that if I have an injury, because I have 2, but because she's out for 2 more weeks, I'm willing to, if I need to use it for some of this out for longer. So apologies to Alexa there. So, what to do? We got to find somebody for Oba to face. All right, let's go ahead and do a talent scout search. I'm not going to go Icons route, even though I kind of want to. I'm not. As we get... Okay, now I'm kind of get... All right, we're just going the cheap route because we just got freaking people... That was a terrible waste. That's a waste of money there. I'll just be an asshole and point it out. Slightly better. Oba is a bruiser, correct? I keep forgetting. He is a bruiser. Him and Angelo Dawkins would be a decent match, but style-wise, it doesn't help, so... Bro, we need faces. Even though Pretty Deadly is here. You know what? For tonight, Pretty Deadly are signed, and we'll face Motor City, even though I probably could have signed them for longer, but for the sake of needing that matchup, definitely bringing them in. Boom. I forgot what I said our main event. I don't even think we have a main event set yet. We're working on it. Back over here, though. Do I do one more? We'll do one more. Please. Bro, it's all these people. It's all these people down here. I like Charlie Dempsey. That kind of seemed like a diss to Charlie Dempsey, but it's not meant to be. I think we're going to sign Charlie Dempsey and have him feud with Chad Gable. But we're going to need Chad Gable to turn face. So. Boom. I'm going to sign Angelo Dawkins for the... timeout. Oh, my God. I messed up. Because we're not going to have enough for a no-holds-barred match now. I knew I was going too fast. How much are a no-holds-barred match? 40. Oh, Jesus. He's going to get pissed. That sucks. I knew I was going too fast. I knew I was going to slip up somewhere. Your least available popular brute. All right. I'm going to take the risk of having Obafemi mad and potentially needing to trade him. But in doing so, we're going to have him face Angelo Dawkins in a Falls Count Anywhere match. It's kind of a compromise. I know to him it's not going to be, but to us, it will be. So I messed up there. I knew I was going too fast. I knew I was going to mess up somewhere. Angela Dawkins is going to be signed for the night. Boom. Now, what needs to be done over here? I said I need to turn Chad Gable face. But Chad Gable's competing tonight, so I don't even have to worry about that tonight. I feel good about that now. We can have Sammy face Charlie Dempsey or have him cut a promo. So I think, what do we need to do? Because I don't even know what match we need to have. I don't need Natalia competing tonight. We could save her. Julia competing. We got a tricky situation going on. Because I need a women. I'd like a women's match, but I have nothing for the. I have nothing. All the like things that are planned for the women, I can't do because of injuries. I could do Jordan Grace and Asuka and have Natalia interfere and hope nobody gets hurt in that situation. I don't. What is the card that pre-match psycho? I don't have one of those. All right, it's not that big of a deal. That being said, where do I need to put that match? I think Owens. Here, I'm kind of screwed. I'm screwed on the match. The matches that we're doing tonight are going to be good. It's just the order of the matches I feel is kind of messed up. Owens and Chad Gable for the U.S. title with Pete Dunne interfering, going after Kevin Owens. Well, I like that. Jordan Grace versus Asuka with Natalia interfering. I'm doing this and hoping nobody gets hurt. Over here, Falls Count Anywhere match. Obafemi's going to get mad. Don't really have any plans for him, but might try to trade him. It's probably not going to be rated that high because Angela Dawkins is in it, and he's a bruiser. That seemed like a diss at Angela Dawkins. I didn't mean for it to be, but it's a bruiser matchup. It's not going to be rated. This, I'm going to hope, helps out a lot because we have Motor City competing, and I wanted that. All right, now over here, it's going to be another show of ad because I don't have enough to afford for a charity promo, even though we need to ensure our fans are happy. Alexa should be back soon. If I fired, this is going to sound like an asshole. If I fired Isla Dawn, I'm going to need to get the calculator out for this. I'd get 37,000 back. And I have 17. I have no clue where all our money is going right now. All right, 17,946 plus 37,000. And I didn't have anything planned for her. I'd have $55,000. And a no holds barred match cost 45,000. So where's all our other? Ugh. I'm definitely going to do the no. All right, just to please Obafemi. And I see that Isla Dawn is not that happy. We're going to release her. Again, wouldn't do this in real life, but I need the money. So Obafemi, hopefully you're going to be happy with this. I'm not going to fail you. Is there another thing that needs to be done? I know there is, but we're doing it. Still didn't save us that much money because I was hoping that I could do. I know, obviously, I don't know another way to save the money to get to do a charity promo, but that's not a necessity. It's just would be a like. Very rare. We're actually going to do a training promo. I never do these. We're going to do one to introduce our new signing, Charlie Dempsey, and then we'll have Sami Zayn cut a advertising promo as well. I would have liked to have done a Julia match. I just don't have anybody for her to face, which is kind of what the real life SmackDown booker says. So there's that. Also, with us being in New York City, it kind of feels like we're in. I know that we're not in Madison Square Garden, but I kind of in my imagery of this show happening, we are. So Jordan Grace versus Asuka with Natalia interfering. No holds barred match. Obafemi versus Angela Dawkins. Oh, I was wanting enough to do the Falls Count Anywhere match, which obviously we still don't, but we don't have to have that done. So here we go. So Asuka wins. Okay, so I put all that hype into that, and it didn't even matter. But nobody got hurt, so there's a positive in this. Okay, I'll take it. I probably should have started the show with this. I'm so glad Motor City won. I always get concerned when we do the tag title match or any title match, mainly the tag team titles because we had them. So obviously a mistake in not putting them in the opener, which I should have. And Kevin Owens somehow wins this, so all of our plan, and he's hurt. Maybe we could do something there. Not guaranteed. Him being the U.S. champion is not the worst thing, but I'd rather Chad Gable be the U.S. champion. It also, again, doesn't help that he's hurt, but we needed to get that done, so we'll see what happens there. All singles matches, by the way. Now, right when I say that, it changes. I like that Rhea's on ECW because she has a purple jacket. And their whole design is purple, so it blends together. Andrade Chase, better tag team than Motor City at this point. Alright, not our best showing. Gotta pick it up. This is what happens. I was thinking I was cooking. I could have been. I kind of am cooking, but not stuff that's edible. Alright, I'm really psyched. Holy crap. I know you ain't getting mad at me about this. Could we hire some better crew maybe? Not sure I want to go out there again with the current T. I just think we could tighten the ship around here. I think we have enough to afford a new crew. And obviously, alright. This sucks. So, I need a tier 3 crew or better. We barely have enough for this. I thought this was cheaper than this. Alright, just to please him. More people might be getting fired, but just to please Aleister Black. I don't know why I struggled to say that. Alright, now I got $11,000. We'll never get that freaking false count anywhere done. Alright, we do have a new rivalry. We're almost done here. I also forgot about the extra $100,000 that we have. I don't really want to dig into it, but we might be soon. We might be soon. All right. What other rivalry can we have? Realistically speaking, we could start a rivalry with our women, but do I want to do that? All right. What needs to be done? Thing one, injury rehab. We don't have $40,000 to spend on Kevin. All right, but I will. Got a lot of things to. I'd like to have Io compete. We're gonna do Io and Asuka. Maybe. If I did this as a triple threat, we've done this a handful of times. The EO, Asuka, Julia triple threat's kind of our go-to in case we need something. But seeing that it doesn't say, hey, their rivalry's on cooldown, it's kind of making me intrigued to do it. I think we're going to ignore it. So I want Julia to compete. We have the new talent that we need to compete. I want to give Natalya and Jordan Grace the week off and have them booked next week. So, and I want EO to compete. That's the alright. So EO, I did not know. I forgot that she was good tag partners with Jordan Grace in quotations. I'm gonna hope this doesn't turn into a rivalry. I don't think that it will. We're gonna do this matchup just to get those people involved. I could have done it with Julia, but I'm gonna ignore it. We have CM Punk and Aleister. We have Sami Zayn. Chad Gable, I did not make that a title match. That is hilarious. So, Kevin Owens, holy crap, he's going to get mad at us because I didn't. Wait a minute. Something doesn't add up here. Something does not add up here. I'm fairly certain I made that a title match because he wanted a matchup. They messed that up. Because Kevin Owens should be the U.S. champion right now. They still got to have Chad Gable, unless I'm. It makes look. Chad Gable also his only win is the U.S. title match. That's funny. Something doesn't add up there. I'm not complaining about it. To get revenge for his friend, we're gonna have Sammy and Pete Dunne in a match. We should freaking have Pete Dunne and Charlie Dempsey team together, but we'll save that for another week. Sammy and Pete Dunne in a match. Let's think this through. At some point, we need to have. All right, we're gonna start this up. Chad Gable, Charlie Dempsey, and Motor City as singles competitors for the U.S. title, with the future goal of Chad Gable turning face and going against Charlie Dempsey. I said doesn't have to be for the U.S. title, but if it is, it's a plus. Now we're up here and need to find something to do. I'd love to start doing charity promos, but we have no money for charity promos anymore. I don't want any of these people competing tonight. Or besides, I would like Julia to compete, but we don't have anybody for her to go against. Hopefully, Lyra is not that upset once she comes back. All right, though. We're in a tricky situation. Because we have nobody over here that could face Obafemi. All right. And the thing over here is, it's not even. So we're thinking this through. This matchup makes sense. This matchup makes sense. This one makes sense to me. It might not to everybody else. Who could I have go against Obafemi over here? And it makes sense. All right, I think we're gonna hold off on making doing the Charlie Dempsey, Chad Gable stuff for now. We're gonna have Chad Gable go or Obafemi go against Charlie Dempsey in a tables matchup. It sounds terrible. In real life, it'd be good. That's the hope that one of the Motor City Machine Guns win the U.S. title. If that happens in real life, I'd be happy. On here, not the worst thing. We're gonna move this matchup up one though. This women's tag. You know what we're actually going to do? Actually, we're not. We'll save that for next week, maybe. We're going to do a gauntlet eliminator. So Ia's going to return. We're actually going to team her with Julia. I know what we're doing now. Where's Asuka? There's Asuka. And Elektra Lopez with Lola Vice, running in on Asuka. And then we still need Asuka to turn into a bruiser. That way we could do Asuka and Lola Vice. We could have Lyra feud with somebody else, maybe once she comes back. But for the sake of potentially also getting that challenge done, starting a rivalry with somebody else, we could accomplish that tonight. So what was the other match I was doing? Charlie Dempsey and Obafemi in a tables match. Who do I need calling out who? We're going to have Aleister call out Punk and Punk do an ad promo. And then we'll have Jordan Grace do an ad promo. No, we'll have Natalya do the... what's Jordan Grace's? All right, we'll have Natalya do the ad promo. Boom. A little bit better booking. I also, again, I even wrote down that was a U.S. title match. Something went wrong there. Not complaining about it because I wanted Chad Gable to stay U.S. champion. I also keep forgetting that we have that extra. We have that $100,000 when we need it, but I want to save it. This week, don't need it. So, boom. So, over here, we have Io Sky and Julia teaming together. I still need to turn Asuka to a bruiser. And we need to turn Chad Gable. We need to turn Chad Gable to a face and CM Punk into a heel, but obviously that will be done after next week and him and Aleister are done feuding. Sami Zayn and Pete Dunne, which I'm gonna imagine that. Where's Pete Dunne at? Pete Dunne's out there. They still got him at feuding with Kevin Owens. It should be a good match. Main event: Motor City getting a U.S. title opportunity. I'm looking. It says the U.S. title's on the line. Start the show. I wrote a question mark next to last week's main event because of what happened. Asuka and Julia win. It starts that rivalry. Boom. We got that challenge done. I also saw that freaking Obafemi had a low stamina. I don't know how that happened. I didn't really want that to be a rivalry. They booed Punk, apparently. Pete Dunne wins. Good for him. Okay, not good for him. It should be a good match. And Alex Shelley, double champion. Our first. Even though my pick would be Sabin, not going to complain about it. So next week is our pay-per-view go-home week for Bash in Berlin. We gotta save AJ. I'm intrigued by this main event. We need to see what happens in this main event. Not seeing. Look, what was their name? Shotzi and Knox is their tag name. It's Fatal Influence. This shouldn't be a good match because they freaking have clashing styles, but still got 4-star. Maybe because Randy was carrying. Who knows? All right. Big week here. Big week right here. And I also feel that contracts are about to be up, which it concerns me a little. All right. So in the lead with the fans. This is not good. Bro, we're getting hit with everything. Select. I select an opposing brand. Next 5 superstars. 1 promo skill. Okay, that could be worse. We're still getting hit with shit. Oh my god. Bro, that sucks because she was just healthy. At least Aleister is happy. Look, Lyra Valkyria, I love you, but we ain't got the money for this, and this might open up. They're gonna open up opportunities for other people. I'll see you down the road, maybe. All right. I'd like to do a Falls Count Anywhere match. Don't know if that's possible though. Just to get this done. So what can we not do? Is my main question. Nothing that I know of. I should also buy one of these, and I should buy this now because I know we got the money for it now, but I don't know. I'll wait till the pay-per-view to buy that. We're doing Punk and Aleister in our main event. And what match? A Hell in a Cell match would be fitting. The cage match would give us plus fans. I think the Hell in a Cell match is calling me. It's calling my name. We're doing the Hell in a Cell match for those two. We're not going to search talent scouts yet. I'm going to sign this because it is essential that Punk wins. And we kind of should still need to be buying this stuff. So we did buy that. We're going to have these two in a backstage brawl. Well, again, while we have the money, we'll put this as the middle match. And it pluses our fans. So we're going to do that. And I'm glad that we signed Lola Vice what we did. Because, like I said, it opened up opportunity. I wanted to do Asuka and Lyra. I said with her leaving, it would open up opportunities. And it should. So, there's that. I don't know what necessarily to label this as. But I will take a screenshot of this because we need something for the thumbnail. And this has been our main rivalry. All right. Alexa Bliss is kind of, oh boy. I'm going to hope that Punk is healthy. We can have the heel turn happen at the pay-per-view. I did forget that. I'm not going to say I didn't. I'm not going to say I forgot. I kind of slipped my mind. So, I'm trying to think of what all we need to do. Because Alexa can't be used. Do we use... First of all, she's under contract for 2 weeks. And we can't use her this week. So, I think we're going to actually take the risk and use this on... I can't even use it on her. Never mind. All right, there's that. What to do. We're having Natalya and Jordan Grace in a match. In what match? Maybe a submission match? Probably not. Screw it. I want to do an ambulance match with these two. And then we're going to do a backstage brawl with Asuka and Lola. Still have money. Sami Zayn's here. Chad Gable's here. I love that it turned into a rivalry for freaking Sami or Chad Gable and Chris Sabin. I got so slipped up right there. We're going to have Sami do a charity promo. We're probably going to have Chad Gable compete, but we still need to turn him a face at some point. We also need to get the U.S. title back on him. We need to book these other matches first. I want Julia competing. Bro, this kind of sucks that this rivalry's at a level 1. We might just let Alexa walk. That way we can get Io to do other stuff. Because Io and Alexa being at a level 1, it's been going on for over a month. It's kind of crazy. Let's think this through. I want Julia competing. I think Julia. We're gonna do Julia Elektra Lopez in that last freaking Falls Count Anywhere match that we need. So we can go ahead and get this done. Boom. And then I want Motor City competing, and it makes sense for them to go against these two. So it kind of does. It kind of does. But I could also do a rematch of last. I'm trying to think this through all the way. Obafemi. Do we have him doing a charity or an advertising promo? We'll have him doing an ad promo and Oscar EO doing an advertising because she's a level 5. So whoever is not booked here will do a charity promo. Unless we really wanted to turn Chad Gable face, but that doesn't make the most sense. I'm also not that bothered with Shelley being the U.S. champion, even though I'd like it on Gable, back it on Gable at some point. So what should this last matchup be? I don't want to. You know what? I'm willing to take the risk. If Kevin Owens could have came back, if I could have got, if we had a bronze injury rehab, this would have been freaking perfect. Because we could have done the bronze injury rehab and then the gold injury rehab and had Kevin Owens back and cost Pete Dunne, Charlie Dempsey the tag titles. Because I don't want to risk that match. Because it makes sense, A, and B, I don't want to risk Motor City losing. That is my issue there, obviously. So what should we do? Because we need 4 compete. Motor City in a match makes sense. What is Pete Dunne's promo? Because this is what it would also help this out. Pete Dunne's a level 5 promo still. Alright, he's going to do this charity promo. I think EO is supposed to do the charity promo. And then Pete Dunne could do the advertising. So we need... Alright, I'm gonna have them team and imagine that Motor City could win. Because they should. But if their opponents win, it earns them a tag title opportunity. So we've also met this. I don't know exactly what that was. But I enjoyed this. This is a good show. So, ambulance match with Natalya versus Jordan Grace. Motor City Machine Guns versus Chad Gable and Charlie Dempsey. Backstage brawl. We need Asuka to turn into a bruiser. That way it kind of helps us out. We're also probably not bringing back Aleister Lopez. I'll tell you that now. Because I don't really want this to be a full-fledged rivalry. It's just something that's temporary. And then our big... Oh, I know I was forgetting something. All right. Main event. Because what was the thing that Shawn Michaels hit on us? They still 10% of our fans. So we need to be going after NXT. So I was going to use that special promotion thing because this should be a good. You know what? We still will. Even though this might help out NXT, I'm still going to use it. Actually, it should be the opposite because we're supposed to obtain, or it shouldn't be the opposite, but it's supposed to help us out. I'm going to use this as well because we have 3 women's matches. So we're at we need to use one more. I'll wait and use that because I was about to. We're gonna use this on NXT, but like I said, nobody ever signs anybody, so it makes like those cards don't mean that much. Main event though, CM Punk, Aleister Black for the WWE title. And a Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell. I keep saying Hell in the Cell. That's what it should be, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna look around before. All right, I think we'll re-sign Lola Vice. We probably won't with Alexa, and our matchup we'll probably do Io and Alexa as our pay-per-view matchup, and hopefully Io wins to bring the women's U.S. title back, and that way we have somewhat of a conclusion to that rivalry. We're trying to bring Lola back. Probably won't bring Elektra back. We should have this last one done, so we should have our first trophy after the show, and maybe we have another one with other challenges. So let's get through this. This is a good episode. This should be good. They've been beating the hell out of each other for months, and it is done, and we got 5 stars out of it. As Motor City wins again. What we could actually do, another 5-star match. So CM Punk and Aleister, we get a 5-star match out of Lola Vice. Y'all gotta have a 5-star match. Julia wins. I was a bit scared there. But we're going to have... How many 5-star matches are going to have this week? There we go. 4 5-star matches. We'll go through these shows. What was I getting? All right. In my mind, because we have Chris Sabin and Chad Gable feuding right now for some reason, we could have Charlie Dempsey take the U.S. title off of Alex Shelley, and then we could have Motor City again, boom, back as a tag team, defending the tag titles, and then Charlie Dempsey, Chad Gable could fight for the U.S. title like I wanted. But in doing so, I don't want it to spin off into a Shelley-Dempsey rivalry. So we essentially need to, whoever's going to team with Aleister Black. Because I told y'all I wanted Aleister Black and a partner to feud with Motor City. We need to debut that person and have them take distract Shelley. Is what is needed there. Yes, finally they're not doing LA Knight versus Logan Paul. So we need to also be looking around like over here. Like there's someone that's like, I can see them team with Aleister and it being good. But off the top of my mind, I've not really seen anybody like that yet. As both shows had tag team title changes. A new NXT champion. And this has been a rivalry that's been going on the whole series. As Bianca and Jade win again. And it is completed. But it wasn't a 5-star match, though. It was not a 5-star match, though. So. Tamatanga. The TV champion. We got 10 minutes till Raw, so I could realistically time it and fit it, but I want to make sure everything is good and ready here, so I'm not going to abruptly leave y'all. I'll say that. But we're going to do the pay-per-view look at some other stuff and wrap things up. The premium live event, if you want me to be extra technical about it. When I used to do the pay-per-view predictions, I would freaking call it PLEs, and it was like, I know it bothers the hell out of people. All right, look at that. I did not know that Jordan Grace got injured as well. And if I put a stip on this match, I don't think we could have been 5, but we could have got that matchup a little higher. We also only have 109, which hurts. But we might be getting money back with Aleister Lopez leaving. As we got our first trophy. I thought we could have got more with more things done. We got a good fan advantage. Money-wise, it could be done better, but we got the first trophy. Bash in Berlin. Oh, all right, Chad Gable might be in our. Oh my gosh. I hate when they do this stuff. I hate when they're just talking nice to me, and if I say the other one, it ruins their morale and whatnot. Because I like Asuka so much, this is terrible. This is terrible. All the things I've been saying, like I wouldn't do this in real life, is me kind of being an asshole. I definitely wouldn't. This is actually just kind of solidifies it more. It's not needed. That's what bothers me. But I don't want to piss Asuka off. Terrible decision there. Terrible decision there. These things come and go, and you never seem to. So, Chad Gable's probably going to be in our matchup tonight. This would be good. This would be good, but I obviously don't even have enough money to do a backstage brawl, so I would not want to worry about that. So, Chad Gable. That is hilarious because if I could have won one of these matches, then boom, that could have figured that out. All right, over here though, Chad Gable's going to be in this match. And our over here, we're going to do EO and Alexa. I don't know what stipulation yet. We might do this a Falls Count Anywhere because we have probably not. We'll come back to that. This match reward doesn't mean that much to me. If you want me to be perfectly honest, it's kind of me being an asshole and saying that. So we're going to give Aleister Lopez this matchup. She just had a 5-star match. So that being said, Punk wants to appear. This one was essential, though. We need to have him be a heel to start the Sami Zayn rivalry. Anything other noted? Not off the top of my mind. But our money situation's kind of needed to improve. We have this done. This is happening. If there's anything else I'm forgetting, I don't know. So, Bash in Berlin. Aleister Lopez. Let's go ahead. Chad Gable's competing. Punk's appearing. He's turning heel. I wanted to do this in a step. Which one benefits us the most? We'll do an Extreme Rules match because it says the BLE bonus. All right, well. Bianca Belair of NXT. Indy Hartwell of ECW, now TNA, and Blair Davenport of Raw. And the one I wanted to win the least one. Alexa Bliss versus Io Sky Women's U.S. title Extreme Rules. So everybody's doing a backstage brawl. They like F you. Alexa wins, and she is leaving with the title. So that women's U.S. title might be gone for a while in storyline and in reality. All right, Randy's probably winning this. My dog has slept and snored. I guess I've not entertained him for the past hour because he was asleep this whole time. Thank you, Chad. Eric Rowan is on Raw. I'm writing this down. So we got one. Good job, Chad. Alexa Lopez. That's why your contract's not getting renewed. Money wise, I don't know where Asuka really screwed us up there. She really screwed us up there bad. Because I was gonna buy the freaking new venue, and we don't have enough for it now. All right, this is important. Looking around, who would be a good tag partner that's preferably a bruiser that could team with Aleister Black? Nobody here. I would love AJ. I would love AJ, but I don't think that's happening. Uncle Howdy, not the worst, but I'm also the thing here with trading. So I gotta give something up. I don't really know off the top of my mind if I have something I'm like willing to give up right now. I want Ilya Dragunov. Even Alistair wouldn't be a bad team. And out of everybody that I've seen, and I've been trying to get Ilya Dragunov for the longest time, so you know what we're gonna. How many women do we have on our roster right now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I was thinking of trading Natalia, but I don't know about that. If I did, we don't have anything planned for Opafemi. Punk and Sammy, Chad Gable, Charlie Dempsey, Aleister Black and Ilya Dragunov versus Motor City, Pete Dunne, Kevin Owens, Asuka, Lola Vice. I don't want to do Jordan Grace and EO, but that might be what we're headed towards. Natalia and Julie. We might actually do Julie and Jordan Grace, but I need to. We could turn Jordan Grace to a fighter, etc. So who would that? That would leave EO and Natalia. Natalia's got. Where's Gigi Dolan? Where's Gigi Dolan? I also don't really have anything planned for her, so I don't even know what I'm trying to go after Gigi Dolan. But you understand because she's got a low morale. Not the best. Not the best. All right. Because all right, I'm gonna propose this. I don't want to give up that much, but I obviously know that I have to give up something. Wow. I just realized. Timeout. I thought that bar in the middle meant when the interest goes up. I thought that bar meant good. I thought that bar going up was good. Apparently, it means the opposite, which is hilarious that I did that. If I could find somebody to trade Natalia for. All right, let me clear that. I don't want to like give up something I don't have to. Because Natalia is hurt. We're probably doing Julia and Jordan Grace, but that's not set in stone. I'm not against bringing Zoe Stark in. I can get some money out of it. I didn't expect that to go through, but I'll take it because we also got money out of it, and Natalia's going to be out for a while. So I do appreciate you, Natalia. So we might actually do Julia and Io, Zoe Stark, and Jordan Grace. But Jordan Grace is, well, right now Jordan Grace is a bruiser. So if there's like a fighter, I can trade for Jordan Grace. Wendy Chu, I'm not that concerned with. Oh, she's the damn champion and the lowest rated there. I don't think that's a good sign. Bailey, shout out Bailey. Bailey would be nice, but she's their top star. Not the best sign of things. Obafemi is a bruiser who is apparently feuding with Charlie Dempsey. I did not sign up for that. I think we're okay. We still need to find a tag partner for Aleister. Like, we desperately need a tag partner for Aleister. Eddie Thorpe's not the worst option, but that's hilarious. That again. Nobody here like pops off the screen like they'd be a good tag partner for Aleister. I'd also need them to be a. All right, we'll avoid it. So we need to find a tag partner for Aleister. We're really going over time now. All right, I also forgot about this crap. I'm not giving up money. So any trade involving me giving up money, I'm not doing. I need to be taking money back. I love Solruka, but that wasn't even that bad. That was only a bad trade because they were asking me to give up money. This is not the worst because it is a bruiser tag team, and we're getting money. This is not the worst, but I also don't want my women's division to be uneven, so it's not the worst. Now we have no scouting points, so now we can't even sign anybody for Aleister. EO, I'm going to be happy to tell you that Alexa Bliss doesn't work here anymore, so that's going to be a certain thing. Superstars who call, I don't really do tag team power mouse. Specialist superstars, all right. I'm probably just going to do this one because the other two things we don't really do that much. All right. I'm going to buy this because it's always nice to have those. How long until Kevin Owens? Kevin's only going to be back in 2 weeks. Oh boy, our roster is getting thin. All right. Thing one. This is going to be risky as hell to do this. But we're going to have these two in a steel cage just to get this rivalry done with, and then when Chad Gable comes back, we can turn him face. And this is kind of like a, hey, passing. I almost said passing of the torch, but like a sign of respect thing. I wanted. This actually makes sense to do this as a triple threat. This is just me thinking ahead, because a lot of this can change before. This makes sense doing this as a triple threat because apparently they're feuding and whatnot. And I'm not against Obafemi being U.S. champion. I just need to find somebody for him to feud with. Again, that is second priority, with the first priority being finding Aleister a tag partner. Speaking of Aleister, I know that we need to turn him into a bruiser again. We need Asuka to be a bruiser, don't we? So what did we plan? We need Julia to be a heel. And, oh boy, we're kind of in a conundrum there. We're in a conundrum with our women's division. We know for certain that Asuka and Lola are good. I think we're going to have another, because we don't have anything set for the other women. We're probably going to turn Jordan Grace. We'll turn Jordan Grace heel. It's not doesn't make the most sense, but I'd rather be a heel than Io or I think what we're going to do is Jordan Grace. We're going to do a tag team rivalry where they compete as singles. So Io and Jordan Grace as the singles part, and Julia and Zoe Stark as the other singles part, with Jordan Grace turning heel and teaming with the Zoe Stark. I think I like that idea. So that's the best I could come up with right now. But we're going to leave Asuka as a fighter this week and have these two. I don't want to do an underground match and risk one of them getting injured right now, but at some point they'll be in an underground match. I'll leave it that way for now. So the other match over here we need to do is Sammy and Pete Dunne. Because we don't have Sammy and Punk started yet. That is an Extreme Rules. We might have that as the opening contest once we get things changed. We need money. We need money. I gotta worry that better. Because I know it was hilarious to me turning Punk heel and then having him immediately do a charity promo. Because again, I don't want to risk this doing it on. Like, I want to save the underground match. So it makes sense doing these two in a tables match. That leaves these three. I also just realized that plus promo skill probably was just for the month. So there's that. So we'll do Zoe Stark and Julia next week, but we'll have Io cut a promo this week. So we at least know where things are at next time around. I think also, because Obafemi, the good thing here is that Obafemi and Charlie Dempsey are bruiser fighter. There's a high chance that Chad Gable gets injured. I don't want that to happen, but there's a chance of it. So with that happening, we could pause Chad Gable and Charlie Dempsey, quickly do Obafemi and Charlie Dempsey for the U.S. title. I like where things are going. We need Kevin Owens back. Timeout. If I did that, I'd have to wait on this cage match, which is not the worst thing. That's not the worst thing having to wait on this cage match. Because I could have Kevin Owens come back tonight and interrupt this matchup. Because Kevin's got 1 week, correct? And they're in Ah! I'm glad I didn't waste money on that. I need... Why they make this difficult? Y'all see what I need. We also have a effing lot of freaking power cards. So we need to start using some more. But this week, we're not going to do it. We can't do a talent scouts because we got 0 points. I think we might have a power. We do have this, but I want to save money first. I think when we come back for the next episode, we are probably going to use the next, not this week, but so show 17, because we need to get some rivalries going and whatnot. I might, over the time, like say, F it and use this on Kevin Owens just for him to come back, and it's in Canada. I'm kind of talking myself into it. Nothing's set in stone yet, but I like where things are. I wish we had more people on our roster, because I feel like we lost a lot of people, but at least we have a ball. We're spinning it around. We need to get the ball rolling. We're spinning it around, which is a good thing. It's a step in the right direction, a phrase that I liked to use a lot. So I'm going to sit here and think about some things while Raw is starting. Raw's been on for 10 minutes now, so I did not do as bad as I thought. We're actually going to get a live reaction to what's starting Raw, which I'm going to imagine is a Seth Rollins promo, if I had to predict. I'm also intrigued to see how many other people are trying to watch this at the same time. We do have breaking news that Kenosha Suggestion is the IWGP champion, which I will admit that I did remember that show's going on, but... Alright. Hey, guess what? I want my money, because Seth Rollins is cutting a promo, so... I'm not missing anything. Anything else? Let me think. Punk and Sammy. EO and Jordan Grace slash EO and Jordan Grace slash Julia Zoe Slarks slash it being a tag rivalry. Motor City. So we need to make 2 more signings. One of them being a tag partner for Aleister Black. A bruiser tag partner for Aleister Black. And potentially someone for Oba Femi to feud with over the U.S. title. We still have... Because it's also good... We need to make 2 more signings with these power cards. Which, by the way, I always forget. Because we have a lot of power cards. I think the last time around, the last My GM that I did, when the season ended, because on last year's game, when the season ended, the power cards didn't carry over. I think the My GM that I've done this year, the power cards carried over. Conflicting and kind of important. Because I obviously don't want to have to use them if I don't have to. But it might be beneficial. We also only have 9 weeks left in this season, which is actually kind of crazy. So I'm overextending things. I'm over dramatizing things. But point being, good show. And we know where we're going next summer around. So I do appreciate y'all watching. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Because I'm out for now. Goodbye. Stay safe. All that other stuff.